Hey guys, Dave Ray here, DB Restorations. How you guys doing today? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, great Turkey Day. I'm working on our 1970 Plymouth Superbird here. And what I'm working on is I had to replace the left front frame rail on this. So I got the left front frame rail in. I actually had to pull this rail here over just a little bit. The car took a pretty good hit in the front, kind of shifted this rail a little bit. So I pulled this one, got that one mocked into place. Granted, it's not welded in, it's just all screwed into place. Got the K-member on there, measuring crossways. This way, everything's spot on. I get to the top end, everything's off on the radiator support by about 1/4 of an inch, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Well, whenever I started doing some measuring, because what I need to use is I have to replace the front radiator support because the other one is just completely destroyed, and the other one didn't even have the VIN numbers stamped on the upper part of the radiator support. So this car was probably wrecked way early in its life too, and lost those numbers. So we're going with this AMD replacement, which of course is the 68 through 69 and 70 replacement. And so they don't have a 70 specific, so we're doing some customizing to this one to make it fit. Of course, we had to drill these holes and weld nuts in there to accept the two bolts on the front part of the fender. And then, of course, we got to put the nose bracket and everything else on there. But what I'm getting down to is whenever I measured my cross on the top, the measurements weren't on. So I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. So lucky thing, I got our 68 Charger RT here that I tore the front suspension out of here not so long ago. So I was able to do measurements. So I was taking frame measurements and everything just to double check this car, because I know this is an original owner car. It's never been wrecked and just in beautiful original condition. But then when I started looking into the radiator support, you can kind of see these little brackets, and these brackets are spot welded to the radiator support, and that's what goes on the inside of your frame rail. Well, when I got to looking at them, I realized that whenever I put this radiator support in my frame, it was about 1/4 of an inch off. So I got to measuring on this as opposed to a nice original one, and found out that right here, this bracket right here is actually, well, for one, it's welded in crooked. So it doesn't sit even on the frame rail. It makes this whole unit want to cock over as soon as you start to clamp that down. So I got to drill these spot welds out here and straighten this bracket out and actually move it in 1/4 of an inch. And then this one right here needs to be, the spot welds need to be removed, and it needs to move inside 1/4 of an inch. You can see it's actually buckling. It bent this, trying to pull this thing straight because it's not square according to the way it should be placed in the car. And so it's causing all kinds of problems along with measurement problems. So I'm going to have to drill out these spot welds, reset these, weld them into place, and then get this back on the radiator support. I mean, it's pretty easy to see. This one is like dead up against the frame there. And if you look at this nice original one, this one here it's over 1/4 of an inch off from the edge. So, and then this one here is set in right on the edge of that impression. And if you look at the replacement one here, it's not even close to the impression. It's over 1/4 inch on the bottom, and then just about 1/4 of an inch on the top. So this whole thing needs to be shifted over. The width in between is spot on in the frame rail, which is around 31.5, plus or minus a 32nd. But that was right on, but just everything on the brackets were spot welded and crooked. So it's causing me all kinds of issues. So if you guys run into a problem with this on your upper radiator support when you go to do your crisscross measurements and you're showing that you're off, double check these lower brackets right here. These things might be causing you some problem like they are me. So I hope this helped you guys out. You guys take care, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.